What's going on, everyone? I saw this idea on another YouTuber channel, and I will leave that information right now on the screen. And so when I saw this idea, I was like, yes, I have been ordering from Amazon just like a lot of you out there, and I have some of these envelopes, and I decided I will go ahead and recycle. So what I'm doing here is I'm going ahead and taking my envelope, and they're not the straightest square, but they do have a nice padding to them, and this is a very good idea, I thought, to reuse it. So I'm going ahead and use my glue gun in the bottle, and I'm just going to glue down one side of this on some fabric. Now my fabric is very thin. It is just one of those squares that came in a package, and if you have a thicker fabric, it won't be as see-through, but I used what I have in my stash. So I am just going to use that fabric, and I'm going to press it down real good. Now you can still, like I said, see some of the blue in there, but if you had a different type of fabric, you wouldn't be able to see through so much. And so once I get that pressed down real good, the next thing I'm going to do is just take my fabric scissors here, and I'm just going to cut out about an inch or so around. Once I did that, I just kind of cut my corners a bit so it'll be easier to fold. And then I'm using this giant bone folder that I don't use for a bone folder. I use it to smooth down and press down everything under the sun. That's what I've been using with mine. So I've got a lot of glue and things on mine. It's just a great tool for that. And then I'm going to take my glue that I've glued on there already, and then press that down with the fabric and smooth out those corners. So once I got that all smoothed down on the sides there, I will get the ends, and those corners probably need to be cut a little bit more. I think I'm going to grab the scissors there and cut out those corners a little bit more. So once I get that cut off, it should be nothing just to finish folding that over, and then I'll have the front side of my cover done. So I'm just going to flip this over here and finish the backs the other side. And then I'm going to finish pressing that down there. And now that I've got it all ready, I'm folding it over to see how that it's going. So it's going really good. I've got a nice background there to get my journal going. So then I just took some sheets of scrapbook paper and cut them out. I don't have measurements here because, like I said, those prime bags, they're just, I got a little trapezoid kind of going there with mine there. They're not the perfect measurement there, so I just kind of shifted over and left a little bit off of the edge there, and then I left a piece in the middle of my fabric I cut out so that I can have that going through the middle. I use that nice thin fabric so that when I decide what I'm actually going to want to, what papers or whatever I'm going to want to put in the middle, it'll be nice and easier because it has that thin fabric just to go through and nothing else. So now that I've got these papers all smoothed down, I am ready to go. See how that strip of fabric is just gonna go right in there. So I'm just gonna get some fabric tack and I'm going to put it on my fabric. So once I've got my glue gun in the bottle on the fabric, I'm just gonna press it down right on top of my project. And I measured pretty good there, so I don't have any excess. And you can see there that worked out and blended perfectly. So now I'm just going to turn that over, let that sit for a bit, and then I'm going to work on the outside cover. So as you can see there, it's not perfect. It has a little bit of that strip that's in the packaging that you can see through. So I played around with this lace. I have tons of this lace that I picked up at AC Moore, so I'll be using this in lots of projects. So I just decided to turn it to the side there and played with it. And as you can see here, I've already decided that I'm going to put that on the back there. And so I've got my nice liquid glue that I can still manage to play with, and I'm smoothing it down. Real nicely. And now that I've got that on there, now I can flip it over and do the same thing to the back. Now I'm not going to do too much decoration on the back. I just wanted to put something on there to try to cover up my thin piece of fabric so it won't be so noticeable. And then once I put it on there, as you can see, it covers it up and those blue stripes are not that noticeable. And I have white that's in my fabric print, and so I like the look of that lace on top of that. So nextly, I have this glue that I hadn't tried before, and I just opened it. Of course, I didn't like the way that it comes out. It comes out so much and it's stuck right on. I do like its hold though. It's stuck and it's stuck right down. I didn't even get a chance to move that over, of course. This is some thin sort of cereal box type of chipboard there. And I just wanted it to be sturdier, so I'm gluing down my piece of scrapbook paper ephemera there, and then I'm just going to cut it out. Like I said, normally I wouldn't waste that. I would glue it towards the edge, but it stuck right down, and so I just ended up cutting that out. So now I just wanted some contrast here, so I'm using this strip, and this is an adhesive burlap. but I know that this is going to be on the front cover, so I wanted to make sure that it's nice and steady. So I'm going to add some extra glue. So now I'm going to get out my glue gun and get a nice glob and glue that down real good. And I got that position right over that blue area that I wanted to cover up. And so now that I've got that stretched out and pretty much got that where I want it, I'm going to add this white ruffled on top of that. I'm going to cut off what I need. Measuring to make sure that that was right. And then I'm going to flip this over, grab my glue gun again, and get a nice glob. And if anyone's in the market for a glue gun, I will leave the information and I will make sure that it's added to my Amazon store. I actually just love that glue gun. It has that nice detailing tip, and so you don't get too much that comes out. It has that nice little thin tip on the top there. And that one has become pretty much my favorite glue gun right now. So I decide that I'm going to add that and tuck that right there in the corner. So I'm going to pull the glue gun out again. And then I'm going to run out of sticks. And normally I would just pull the glue off, but I just kept going. I figured I would just glob it down real good and it would still stick. And I had no problems. Normally I would scrape that all off because it's dried by the time I found that glue stick. So I'll make sure I get it along the edge there and then kind of slide it up under where I want it. And then it fit in real good. Then I'm just going to take my edges on the side there and make sure that they're glued down real good and add some extra adhesive in the corners so I don't have any lifting, especially since this is going to be on the cover. I want to make sure that I don't get it hung up anywhere or that it doesn't just come off with me opening and closing. Then it wouldn't be one of my projects if I didn't add some bling. So here is the bling that I purchased from Amazon not too long ago. And then I'm just kind of measuring out to see. Then of course adding some more glue here down that middle. Now all I have to do is pull that chain pretty tight and then lay it right back on there before the glue gets dry. Once I got it pretty much where I wanted, I just push it down real gently. And then grab my scissors and cut off the excess. So it was easier to kind of grab it in the middle. So I would have had that little bit at the top if I would have laid it down, but I left it in the middle. It was easier to grab it there and lay it down. And so now I just want to finish off the edges here. And you've seen the inside, you've seen the back side, and that is pretty much it. I'm just going to add some bling to the outside there, and that'll finish it off. Now, how should I finish the inside? I've got some coffee dyed papers. I've got some ideas how I should add in papers to and then sew in my signatures. But I haven't done it in this video. I haven't filmed it yet. If you have any ideas, leave them in the description box for me. But I think this turned out beautifully. And like I said, I haven't filmed the inside. I haven't completed the inside yet because I just don't want to rush it. I want to put the right things in there. But I did want to go ahead and show that inside again. And I was playing around with some papers here, and I did want to go ahead and show you that. But that's it for now. I didn't finish it. Thanks for watching, Craftinistas, and see you later.